So I've been doing YouTube for 11 years now, and there's been a lot that I have learned in that time. 11 years, and I've only reached 1,410 subscribers, give or take. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. And what I mean by that is that in this journey, there are going to be a lot of times you're not going to want to make a video. There are going to be a lot of times where you'll put all of your effort into one or two videos that you think are going to be the biggest thing ever, and then they only get like maybe just 40 views or 30 views, and that's it. When I say it's all in your head, it's your emotional state. That's what I'm talking about. It's your emotional state. You see, your emotional state, it's something that is kind of like a rubber band. It's something that's malleable. You can do whatever you want with it. You can either choose to focus on the stuff that you don't like, or you can focus on the stuff that you do like, you know? Or in this case of YouTube, for example, right? Like, you have to just do it. Like, that's the thing. You have to, like don't think, just do. You know, I spent my first few videos, right, like my first few years on YouTube, like just doing Let's Play videos, right, and I would upload them, right, but they weren't that good. Like, I didn't even watch my own videos, and that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a creator. Like, if you can't get any joy out of watching your videos, how can you expect someone else to, you know, get enjoyment out of it? Even when I started writing scripts, and I started to get better at editing, and I started to take more pride into how my videos looked visually, you know, I even realized that wouldn't guarantee a successful video. You know, a lot of it is just luck based, and also more importantly, it's consistency based. For the longest time, like since my channel's conception, consistency has been one of my biggest issues and one of my biggest problems, because I've, like many YouTubers, would upload a little bit, then maybe go on like a long hiatus. Sometimes it will range from about 2 months. Other times will be as long as maybe 6 months even. In that time, that's days that I could have been uploading, that I could have been making my channel more seen to other people. You know, even like right now, like, or even like as I'm recording this, right? Like, if you look at my channel, it won't really come up right away. Whereas before, when I was uploading a little more consistently, it would. So I just say all this to say that really, like, okay, after 11 years of doing this, I'm at the point where it's like, I care, but also in a different way. Like, I am doing this because I genuinely love YouTube, you know, and it's kind of weird because I've gotten to the point where I'm watching YouTubers who've been on the site for a way smaller amount of time than I have, and they're way more successful than I am. And on top of that, channels that I've grown up with that honestly kind of were made around the same time are now retiring. Like Tom Scott, Matt Pat, like these are all channels who kind of came around the same time I did, give or take, you know, by a few years. It's kind of like weird seeing like a whole new generation of YouTubers come up and are saying like, oh yeah, you know, like, you know, I can't believe it's taken me 2 years to get to 1,000. And then meanwhile, like for me, it's like, I didn't even get to my first 100 subscribers until I was like more than 2 years into it. So it's kind of like, it really is just something that you can't compare yourself to. And again, I know this is also kind of another generic piece of advice, but it's true. I mean, you can't compare yourself to other people. You have to just basically stick with what works for you. You have to compare yourself to where you were yesterday, to where you were last week, to where you were last month, to where you were 6 months ago, to where you were last year, and you know, so on and so forth. And of course that's harder than ever. Another example is this YouTuber called Super Mario T, who I watch, right? I remember a few months ago he uploaded a video where he was basically complaining about his what was going on in his life, and how he was like upset that he made only $800 off of YouTube. But then meanwhile, for me, it was like, bro, you made $800. You made nearly a band from YouTube. Like, I wish I could make just money from YouTube at all. That's something that I've wanted since I've started, you know, and that's something that I am not ashamed to admit. I love this. I love YouTube. I love making videos, but yes, I do want to make monetary profit from it too, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think you should be really stigmatized or feel stigmatized because you want to make money from something you love doing. I think that's something that, I think there's a good balance. I mean, do I really think that you should sacrifice quality for quantity? When it comes to YouTube, I would suggest having a quantity over quality approach to a degree. Of course, I'm not saying that means just do like screw all and just not care about your videos at all, but like at the same time, it's okay to upload a video that may not be the perfect video. It may not be phenomenal. It may just be okay, but at least you're uploading something, because that is how this game of YouTube works. Like, there was a point in time a few years ago, back in 2018, 2017, around that time, when I had beef with Premi de Remy and like Twib and some of these other YouTubers who are part of the Sonic community. And I didn't know it at the time, but one of the biggest things for me was that I was jealous. Like, I was jealous because they, you know, they make Sonic videos, and most of the time they were just discussion videos, kind of like the ones, you know, that I used to do and I've started to do again. But like, you know, these discussion videos, you know, they weren't super really heavily edited. You know, it was just kind of mostly them just having footage of the game they're talking about and like them just kind of saying their opinion on it, and that was it. Then meanwhile, me, like, I was over here like making videos like the problem with 3D Sonic games and all that, which, you know, in hindsight, it's not like, it's not an exceptional video, but like, you know, it is more heavily edited than, say, like, you know, a lot of Premi's content was and Twib's content was at the time. I felt like I was doing more work than they were, and I felt that my videos were better than them, so I thought I should have gotten more attention. But of course, at the time, I didn't realize that, but like, that's what it was. That's where the hate and that that's where it was coming from, and I didn't realize that at the time. I just kind of thought, like, oh, you know, they're Sonic tubers. They talk about the same stuff. Like, what's the whole point? But no. In reality, it was, I was jealous. I was just jealous. I was. It's like, I felt like I wanted to have their amount of subscribers, their amount of views, and I didn't. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you're on the internet, as long as I've been on the internet, or just when you do anything for a long period of time, you change as a person. So when you start, you're not going to be the same person later down the line. You know, who you are right now is going to be different from how you are in 2 years versus how you are in 4 years versus how you are in 10 years, and so forth and so on. And this is going to reflect in your content also. So this means, like, for example, for me, I started doing Let's Play videos. From 2013 to like 2016 or so, I was just doing Let's Play videos. Keep in mind, this was during the time where I didn't even watch my videos. I just did them just to do them. But around 2016 or so, that's kind of when I was like, hey, you know, Let's Plays are kind of falling out of fashion. You know, they're not really getting too many views, you know, and that's also around the time when the commentary YouTube channel started to pop off. So I started to just kind of lean away from that. I stopped with Let's Plays and I started to switch to more video essay content, where I started to actually write scripts, and I started to like do all these things that most YouTubers do now. And also during that time, I got better with editing. I learned how to edit. You know, prior to that, my videos weren't edited really. So yeah, I say all that to say that that's just one example. And now here I am now, you know, at 23 years old, I'm making kind of content like this, where it's just like, it's consistent, but you know, it's different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what I'm putting in this video. Like, I'm just probably gonna put a bunch of things around here, maybe just to keep it visually interesting so it doesn't bore the person. But ultimately, I just make the content that I want to see. And I guess if there's anything to take away from this video, because I know I've rambled about a lot of random stuff, keep this in mind. Do YouTube ultimately because you want to do it. That should be your foundation, not I want to make money. Making money is good, but that shouldn't be your foundation, because that's going to burn out. Your foundation should be because you just love making videos. That should be the foundation, followed by you wanting monetary gain from it. And then I really believe that'll lead to number three, which is just like, well, I shouldn't say number three, but like, what I'm trying to say is that make your love for making videos be your foundation, and then make your monetary aspirations come after that. You know, I'm 11 years into it, and I'm still making it just because I want to. And even Mr. Beast himself said that if he wasn't successful, he'd still be making videos. Okay, I'm switching to handheld mode because it's just easier for me. This way my phone keeps falling off. But even with that, right, before I had a tripod, I would just use plastic cup. I would use styrofoam cups, and I would use that as my tripod. Even going back 10 years ago when I did Let's Play videos, I did that, you know, and I'm doing it right now because I don't have a tripod on me at the moment, so I'm not letting that stop me. Anyway, I'm just saying all this to say that if you're gonna be a YouTuber, be prepared to be in it for the long haul, be prepared to be disappointed, be prepared to want to even quit. There are gonna be times where you're gonna want to quit. Be prepared for all of that. And also just know that if you make a network with people, which you should make a network with people because that's very important, just know there's a good chance that they may or may not grow with you. There are plenty of people who I started with who aren't making videos anymore. And also there are plenty of people who I know who are big YouTubers now. Like, for example, I knew Turkey Tom before he blew up. I knew Willie Mac Show before he blew up. I knew people who knew The Right Opinion, for example. So I've known people who are successful YouTubers right now, and God willing, I'll be there at one point eventually too. But my point in making this video is just to let people know, just be prepared for it to be a journey. Be prepared for it to be a journey, and be prepared for the good, the bad, and the ugly, disappointments, You'll be angry sometimes. Just go with the flow, go with the punches, just ultimately put your best foot forward. Peace and blessings. Bye.